is everybody? So today I'm going to be talking to you all about the Lone Witness book by Rachel Dillon, the second book in the Atlanta Justice series. Okay, so if y'all have seen on my Instagram, you'll see that I finished the book and it was really good, in my opinion. Honestly, I think this book is better than the first one. And that's saying something because you all know how I felt about the first book. It was really, really good. But anyway, like I always do, I'm going to read the synopsis and I'll tell you all a little bit about the book and a little bit about the characters. Okay, so here we go. She's the only witness to a brutal crime. Now she can't outrun the target on her back. Prosecutor Sophie Dawson has taken a new role at the Fulton County DA's office, and our first case involves a local bank employee who may be cheating customers. She's determined to bring justice to those who've lost their savings, but her life is turned upside down when she becomes the only witness to a double homicide involving a vengeful gang. With her life at risk, friends and family convince her that she needs protection, and private security guard Cooper Knight is hired as a bodyguard. But as threats escalate, neither Cooper nor Sophie knows whom they can trust. Unwilling to back down on either case, Sophie pursues the truth at any cost. But her bank litigation gets more complicated by the day, and the gang will stop at nothing to keep her from taking the stand. With all sides closing in, steadfast, Cooper is the only man she can lean on, but drawing close may be the distraction that costs both of their lives. Okay, so if y'all remember from the first book, Cooper Knight was is in it. He's not like a main character, but he is like a side character. Landon was in the army, and then he became a private investigator, and then he had old college buddies, Noah something, cannot remember his last name, and then Cooper Knight. And then throughout the book, at the end of the book, Landon then joins Cooper's private security business that him and Noah work on. So, but then Sophie Dawson is Kate's best friend. Kate, you all know her from the first book, Deadly Proof. She is in this book, but like brief moments. But I gotta say, this whole book is like a lot better than the Deadly Proof, because it just seems like it had more depth to the characters than Kate and Landon did. Now, don't get me wrong, I do love those characters. They are amazing characters. But I will say that I liked the depth of characters between Sophie and Cooper a lot more than with Kate and Landon. Okay, so like it said, she witnesses a double homicide. So back up a tiny bit. She was working late at work. She decided on just getting a snack from the gas station rather than going home and making a meal. So then she goes into the gas station and she goes to the back to get something, and suddenly she hears shouts from the front of the gas station, and she looks, and this guy is pointing a gun at the gas station clerk, whatever that position, I don't know what that is. Anyway, so, but then, of course, double homicide means two people get killed. One guy gets, the gas station employee gets shot, and then they run out of the store, and Sophie runs over to the gas station clerk, and sadly, he's dead. But then she hears shots coming outside, and then she goes out there to look, and as she's running to the door, she hears cars slamming shut and tires screeching and going away into the distance. So, but then she looks, and this young girl like in her early 20s, was shot in the head and she died. So very, very, very sad. But then, she starts going about her business, and working on the bank case and stuff like that. Then it switches to Cooper, and he's talking to Sophie's dad. Apparently, Sophie's dad went behind her back and hired Cooper to be her bodyguard because he found out what happened, and she was the only witness to the crime. So he started getting really, really paranoid, really, really scared for his daughter's safety. So he hired Cooper and to tail her and make sure she doesn't get into trouble. And he said, make sure she does not know you are watching her, because that could get even worse if she does know. He's like, okay. So, but then, in the previous book, spoiler alert, if you have not read the first book, which, if you are listening to this, then why are you if you haven't read the first book? But anyway, at Sophie's birthday party, Kate and Landon got engaged. So, but at the party, Sophie and Cooper actually talked briefly. It wasn't anything huge, they were just talking. So they didn't know each other, kind of. But then Sophie gets word from someone at her law firm and is told that there's a target on her back. A gang put a hit on her for a lot of money. So she's in danger because she was the only witness to her crime, to the little brother of a very, very, very bad gang. So yeah, so that's why her dad hired Cooper behind her back. But then the events leading up, but then because of the events of her getting target on her back, Cooper felt it was necessary for her to know that he was stalking her, basically. So then she goes into a grocery store, comes out, and he's by her car. She actually got a little freaked out because there was a random guy sitting by her car, but the closer she got, the more she remembered, oh wait, I saw this guy. So, so then she knew who he was, she wasn't scared. So, but then they started talking, and let's just say things happen to these characters throughout this book, and oh my gosh, it is so bad. This book is 100% clean. There's no cussing except mess up. I don't say those words, so I say the alternate words. Mess up and crud. Those are the only two words said throughout this book. But oh my gosh. Okay, a little bit of backstory. You will find this out in this book, so it doesn't really matter if I'm going to tell you it. Okay, so Sophie's background was, her mom died when she was really, really young. So her dad pulled double duty and was working from home while also, braiding her hair as an 8-year-old girl, and doing all that, all that stuff. And it was just really, really hard for her. And the grief of losing her mom, she actually had panic attacks and, went to therapy for it. And, she still has panic attacks now and again, but nothing, nothing bad. And honestly, she doesn't need to be working because her dad is, something was said. I don't, terms that I don't really know, because this book has a lot of terms that, people who aren't in law don't really understand, or they get the basic grasp of it, but this book, there's a lot of that stuff. So apparently okay, so but the point I'm trying to make is she doesn't have to work. She works because she just wants to work as a lawyer. She doesn't have to work for the money. She's not, she doesn't care. Now, Cooper. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna tell you everything, but his background and his story. I was so upset for him. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna tell you this. His dad was very abusive to his mom. And when Cooper was a kid, he heard it. And then he was telling Sophie this. And when he's telling her, he said that, when I got older, I started standing up to him. But then I'm like, no. No, because if you stand up, no. I mean, yeah, stand up for your mom. Yeah, 100% do that, but call the police or something. Don't you stand up. Because he started getting abusive to Cooper too. And his dad was an alcoholic, and it was just really bad. It's just a lot of things happen, and because of his father being abusive, Cooper is scared that something will happen to him if he gets married. Something will happen to him, he'll turn. And I'll let y'all figure that out for yourselves, but oh my gosh, when he told her that story, I was like, I was sniffling. Let me just put it that way. I wasn't crying, but I was sniffling. It was sad. Oh my gosh. But anyway, thank you all so much for listening to this podcast. I'll talk to y'all again next week. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you've read this book before, let me know. And if you ship them together, of course, I have a feeling you will. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all again next Friday, and I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast, and I'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye, guys!